Hello everyone. My name is Jay. I am 19 years old, and I don't really know what to do in terms of an intro for this video. Um, Basically, this is just a little introduction to this channel. I I basically in this video I'm just gonna be explaining uh, what kind of stuff I'm gonna be talking about on this little commentary channel. I've tried my hand at like YouTube commentary before, but I've never been very good at it, so chances are most of what I end up saying in these will probably sound really dumb and just be filled with nonstop run-on sentences that don't make any sense. Um, so I started this channel because I, for a long time, have had a lot of trouble communicating when I'm going through stuff. I I don't really bring up as much as I should when I'm struggling. I don't really have even a good reason why for anything. Um, I so I started this channel to try and fix that problem of mine of not communicating well, and to try and like have a middleman while venting my feelings to people who are important. I I'm really bad at this. um, I I was diagnosed a couple years ago with clinical depression, and I kind of just took that as a sign of like, oh, that's it. I guess I'm just never gonna be happy. That sucks. And it wasn't really a fun revelation. I I actually kind of hit a bit of a shitty lottery in terms of mental illness. When I was a kid, I was diagnosed with ADHD, uh, and as I just stated a couple years ago, I was diagnosed with clinical depression. I also have really bad anxiety, especially I guess in big groups. I get really bad social anxiety and freak out sometimes. Um, I am heavily suspected to be on the spectrum, on the autism spectrum, by many of my peers, and I guess I kind of see some of that, but I don't really believe in self-diagnosing myself with that. So, yeah, I've also shown signs of OCD, which I haven't been diagnosed with, but I don't know. I guess when hearing people talk about it, I know I just said I don't really want to self-diagnose myself with anything, but I guess when I've heard people talk about their experiences with OCD, it sounds, I don't know, familiar. Like it's something I can relate to, and maybe it's not even that. Maybe I'm just weird and fucked up. But I'm rambling a lot. So um I've I'm not trying to. Anytime I say this, I feel weird speaking it out loud. But I guess I've been through a good amount of bad experiences in my life, and so that's really done a number on me in a lot of aspects. Um, and usually I just keep it to myself, but um, as of my last relationship, it's been shown to me pretty clearly that that's a problem that I can't just like shrug off, of not being able to communicate. I mean, especially like in a relationship, that's one of the most important things, and it takes effort to be good at. But whenever I try to like vent my feelings to people, I take too long processing, and then I get interrupted and by people who are just trying to help, and I lose my train of thought, and I don't really I don't really get it all out properly, or I don't figure out like a good way to handle anything. Um, so now I I thought, well, I can I can almost like format my depressive overthinking a like a decent essay when I'm alone in my room with my own thoughts. And so I thought, well, what if to communicate with people, I try and have like this middleman where like I can record my thoughts and, you know, hopefully communicate what I want in a decent enough way that if I show it to my loved ones, that they understand, and it can at least start a conversation and maybe lead to something positive. I don't know. I just, in all honesty, I'm really tired and I have no idea what I'm doing. But I really care about and respect my now former partner, and I I care about what they think and how they feel. And in all honesty, they're still one of the most important people in the world to me. So I figure it couldn't hurt to try and listen and like communicate it better, because I feel like I feel like I do a decent job at listening to people and hearing them out, but when it comes to talking about what I go through, it it's just hard. It's really hard to try and find the right thing to say, even if I know that they're like it doesn't even necessarily need to be a correct thing. Just, you know, I just want to have a good conversation, because I don't enjoy being the way I am. I don't enjoy always like burying everything because I can't figure out what I'm trying to say in a coherent format or sentence. And that is one giant fish. Holy shit. Um anyway, I I guess this is all just a long rambly way of saying, you know, I've been doing kind of a shit job at being as open as I should, and that's taken a toll on relationships that I care about, and it's taken a toll on me. And I think that I don't want to live that way anymore. So this whole channel is basically my attempt at being better. And I hope that nothing I end up saying comes off pretentious or, I don't know, just in any negative way. I really want for this to just improve something in my life and maybe help me be a better friend and partner and family member. So, you know, I decided to leave this channel public because, I mean, one, it'd be a pain in the ass to, like, make unlisted videos and then, you know, like set up a link for people to find. And so, I mean, it's just easier, but also I try to, I mean, sometimes I'll see videos like this that just really impact me, and I don't think that I've got many profound things to say that would do anybody any good, really, but I want to try at least, and I hope that maybe if this doesn't help me at all, maybe it can help somebody else, and it can make somebody else's situation just a little better. And I mean, that's really all I can ask for. So, I think I've tried to record this more than once, but I think I'm going to wrap this introductory video up here. I do want to say, though, as a word of warning, honestly, because I've recorded this multiple times, I may be just repeating things by now. I don't know, it's like 5 in the morning and I'm really tired. But, I do want to say, I plan to cover on this channel, you know, just like stories about my life or whatever's on my mind at the time of recording, and kind of like a stream of consciousness. But some of the topics and some of the things that I'm going to be talking about on this channel do include potentially triggering topics for some people. So I want to give a trigger warning now. It's in the description of the channel as well, but I do want to give a trigger warning for topics of SA, suicide, self-harm, abuse, substance use, and I don't know, I'll probably think of other stuff at some point that I might like end up, if there's something else that I can't think of, regardless of if I'm going to be talking about a triggering subject, I'm going to be putting a trigger warning like all over the video just to make sure nobody is made uncomfortable, because I don't want anyone to be uncomfortable at the expense of me trying to vent. I I don't want to make anybody's day worse with topics that they weren't prepared to hear about and didn't ask to hear about. So, yeah, um, that's really about all I have to say for this video. Um, I hope that if anybody's watching, I hope that you are having a good day, and if you're not, I hope that it gets better, and I hope that just, that you're doing, that you end up doing good at some point. Because I do, despite being very cynical, I do believe that things can get better for people. And, yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Um, Thanks for listening. See ya.